had a very difficult time finding an agent. And because of my experience with screenwriting, where I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, I got tired of waiting. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take this into my own hands and explore self-publishing, which I did. And I was so far down that line. In fact, I had hired a graphic artist to do a cover, a company to lay out and do the e-file format for ebook publishing, all of the stuff that you do when you're self-publishing. And since I had wanted to do a small print run, I had even was talking to printers. That's how close I was to having this out there. When a freelance editor that I had hired, because I knew with self-publishing that if that's how I was going to go, I wanted to be as professional looking as possible. So I hired a freelance editor. And she called me out of the blue, even though we had finished working on the book together, and said, I've been thinking about your book, and I happen to know an editor at Schuster who might respond to the book as strongly as I did. Do you mind if I send it? And I said, well, no harm can come from that, but I honestly thought nothing would happen from that either. But why not? Yeah. And she said, well, depending on what she has on her desk and her slush pile, it may take her 3 months to get back to you. And I thought, 3 months, this book will be for sale on Amazon, but okay. And that was on a Friday, and a Monday I got a call from Simon Schuster.
Wow. So 4 days later, 3 days later.
3 days later, yeah, which is insane. And I can only imagine she did what we all do when someone asks us to do a favor. If you want to read this book, I'll look at 10 pages and say it's not for me, I get it off my desk. But I think she read 10 pages and went, oh crap, now I gotta read this.
So then you get a call on Monday, and...
I get a call on Monday, and pro tip for anyone who's looking for an agent, if you have an offer for publication, you can choose any agent you want.
So your first phone call, you got an agent?
Yeah, next phone call was to get it. Yeah, I've got, it was almost like I have Simon Schuster on the other line. Will you be my agent?
Let me think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Let me
Ching no.
Well, from an agent standpoint, I think the hardest part of agenting is finding the deal. It's not negotiating the deal. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I don't know. I guess my reaction to that is I don't know. Like most people, I just sometimes feel like if you're going to deal that fast.
Well,
I
just worked 15 years for that, so my reaction to that is...
Alright, that's fair enough.
Available now in hardcover, any place they sell books, and also coming in paperback this spring.
Please subscribe so my dad can make more videos like this. Thank you.